Yeah, g'day YouTubers, Tinker O'Toole again here with another video. Today we're going to talk about light bars. Some of them aren't so light as they claim, but there's two types of light bars. There's what they call light and that's what they call premium light. Now, the bar we've got right at the back there, the Samura, which I just got yesterday, it's a 30-inch bar. It says light and tough, but it certainly isn't light. It weighs in at 2 kilograms. Now, you can get the premium type 1, and you'll see the little white patches all over it. I think that's an epoxy resin. So, very, very flexible. I prefer to stay away from those lightweight, really flexible bars. Even though this actually says that it's got light 06, it's really still quite rigid, and the Samura is quite rigid as well. It's got a bit of flex in it, but not enormous amount. That's the only thing I've got against a lot of these long, lightweight bars. They're very flexible, really flexible. I don't have enough experience to actually turn around and say whether that helps or whether it doesn't. Some people say that it does, others of different opinion. Like with chainsaws, everyone has an opinion. But nonetheless, they are a very good brand bar, like the Sugihara and like the Stihl. A lot of people will only ever buy Stihl, and a lot of people will only... Everybody's got their favourite bar. It just comes down, it's as simple as that. So it depends what you like. The only thing that I would say about the light bars, in my situation, I'm not really worried about it, because if I've got a 30-inch bar there, that's going to be used to cut a log that's on the ground. So it's irrelevant to me whether it weighs... This weighs 2 kilos. It's irrelevant whether it weighs 1.4 kilos because I'm cutting on the ground. But if I have to lift that bar, I'm not going to use this type of bar to cut branches off. So I really don't care whether it's lightweight or not. But other people do. I guess if you're using them all day long as a professional, then that's a different story altogether. Because if we talk about power to weight ratios, the MS500i is the lightest saw compared to how many cc's that it has. So it's a 79 cc's, you might as well say that it's 80 cc's, and it weighs 6.4 kilograms. Whereas the MS380, which is a fairly old saw, it's actually slightly heavier, and it's 72 cc's, and it doesn't have as much power as a 500i. Now, the other thing that's interesting about a bar is the mount. And on the Stihl range, there's 3 sizes. You've got, for 3.8 low profile, that's called a 3003 mount with about an 8.2 millimeter gap. That's the gap that's in the bar at the end. So that's the first size in the Stihl. The medium size, which is this size, is 12.2 millimeter gap in the bar, and that's called a 3003. The large one, which is MS880, and I think there's a few other saws that fall in that category, is a 3002, and that's 14 millimeter gap here, stud gap. So if you look at the studs, the width of the studs, and they fit into this gap here. So that's one thing to consider. In the Husqvarna is a different mount altogether. You've got, even for, they go with alphabetical numbers, AO95 for a small 12-inch, AO41 is another one, and the Oregon have AO41 as well. There's all different numbers, or there's all different alphabets for different brands. So I can't remember. I can only remember a few of them. Now, the other thing to remember also is that when you do buy a different bar, if you were to stick with Stihl, if you were to buy, this is a 25-inch bar, so it'll take a 25-inch chain from Stihl, or if you, which is 72, a 20-inch. If we look at this one down the back, 72 drive links. So it's a 3/8 chain. Whether you buy a Carlton chain, an Oregon chain, if it's 3/8 and it's 72 drive links, it's going to fit, not a problem. Problem becomes when you start to get bars like the Samura and other brands, Shugihara. This in a still, a 30-inch bar in a still, takes 97 drive links. The Samura takes 100 drive links, 3 drive links longer. It's actually 1 inch longer, the bar. So typically a lot of the still bars are slightly shorter than they should be. You know, they say they're 25 inch or they're 20 inch, but you never get the 20 inches. It's not there. So definitely with the Samura. And then people are whinging saying, oh, you know, I went and bought a Samura bar and my chain won't fit. Well, you're supposed to check that out at the dealer when you buy it. Or you know, they're the sort of things that when you buy a different market bar, check with the dealer or the person that you're buying it at the shop to make sure how many drive links. And as I said, it's 100 drive links for that, and in a 30-inch still, it's 97. So yeah, there's a few people there that sort of complaining. For me, it doesn't matter because I make my own chains up. I've got a chain breaker and a spinner, so it's just a matter, I buy them by 100-foot rolls, so I can just make them up. It's not an issue. But for people that can't, you really do need to check that if you're buying an aftermarket or a different brand bar. Look, this Samura and Shugihara are very, very popular Japanese bars. I've never heard any bad words about them. Some people say they're better than still, they'll last longer. Others are still hard fans and will recommend still over anything else. I'm sort of a little bit out on the fence. I don't think you'll have any problems using one of these, and I don't think you'll have any problems using one of these, and I don't think you'll have any problems using any other brand that's well known, whether it's Archer or Oregon. But I don't use them on a daily basis. So it's a little bit hard for me to really make a statement saying this is better than that or that is better than this. All as I can say that they're a bloody darn good bar, and yeah, but I don't know which one's going to outlast which one unless you're a professional and you use them day in and day out. Anyway, that's probably my take on light bars. A lot of people talk about the balance of a saw. And if we're talking about the balance of a saw, if I was to pick up this one here, you could see there that it was horizontal. So it comes out with a 20-inch bar and it sits pretty horizontal. This saw here sits reasonably level with a 25-inch bar. There's a slight little tilt forwards, but not that much. Anything bigger than a 25-inch bar is certainly going to tilt it way, way more forwards. When you put the Samara 30-inch Samara bar on it, it's on an angle like that. So it's nose heavy. You're going to find that with any bar that's in excess of probably 20 inches. It's going to tilt the saw forwards. Anyway, just to briefly summarize, if you're going to go buy a light bar, do a bit of research, check with the manufacturer to make sure what the weight is compared to your standard bar, and you'll find out probably at best the most that you're going to get on a light bar is about 20% at best. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye for now.